What's up, everybody? This is Lynch, and today I'm going undercover on the internet. It's actually me. Twitter. So this is from @ChubbyCookie. What did you feel when you played Jeffrey Dahmer? It was uncomfortable. A lot of the filming was uncomfortable. It was a really fulfilling process. I'm really happy that I did it. Next up is @Gabulous Lyrics. Ross, what was your first day as Harvey Kinkle like? By the way, congratulations to you. Excited to see it. My first day as Harvey Kinkle was pretty fun. All the early Harvey Kinkle stuff was basically just flirting with Kiernan, flirting with Sabrina. It was pretty fun. I had a good time. Next up is Vicky Rojo. Just wondering, what is your favorite Sabrina episode and which one was the most fun to shoot? Love the first season. Your acting is unbelievable. Thank you. Might be my favorite role you've ever played after Jeffrey Dahmer. That's nice to hear. Thank you. I think some of the early episodes were really fun to watch because we did this whole screening in Vancouver after we shot the first two, and everybody came out. We rented like a movie theater and we all watched the first two episodes. And as far as filming goes, I think my favorite episode to film was when the Fright Club goes to hell to get Nick back. I think that was my favorite episode to film. And there was like fight scenes and stuff. It was really fun. Next up is Reddit. Jazz Sinclair and Kiernan Shipka theory. Is it true that Sabrina has not been endgame just because of Jazz Sinclair's jealousy for Ross Lynch? No, that's not necessarily true. That's not true. This is actually what happened. Jazz and I were hanging out on set. We met and quickly became the best of friends. And the writers on the show saw that and they decided that they wanted to write for it. Because you can't really fake chemistry. It was pretty magnetic, like we couldn't get enough of each other. As writers, you have to follow what's working. And that's what was working. Ross Lynch typecast, question mark? How exactly would you even describe Ross Lynch's type? I mean, the guy played the leading man on a Disney show, then played a serial killer. Yeah, I agree with you. I guess that was kind of on purpose, because I didn't want to be pigeonholed or typecast. Now it's almost at a point where it's like what's next? I'll have to be diligent about doing more auditions, I guess. I've been slacking a little bit since COVID hit, I'm not gonna lie. Back to Twitter. @Ethlum Chloe. Do you see the cast of Austin and Ally in Teen Beach 1 and 2 Double Date reunion? Just want to know if you guys still keep in contact. I loved Austin and Ally in Teen Beach 1 and 2. I talk to the castmates of Austin and Ally pretty frequently, actually. And I just hung out with the choreographer from Teen Beach Movie. I haven't seen anyone from the cast in a long time, but I hung out with the choreographer just recently. He's a really good friend of mine. Next up is @Danny's Afterglow. Will you ever paint your nails again? BFF, they looked really good last time. So my mom was going through a rough time. She had cancer. And when she was pregnant with me, she worked in a nail salon. She named me Ross because this little kid came into the nail salon at the time. It was almost like a sign to her to name me Ross. So I painted my nails as I guess a notion of love. I mean, I could see myself painting my nails again, I guess. Sure. Next up, @ScriptSlasher, which is kind of a sick name. Are you aware that your Teen Beach songs on Spotify, you're credited as Austin Moon? I can't even really remember why that happened, but it's kind of my fault. I think it's kind of funny, actually. It is what it is. This next name is hilarious. It's Horny Ross. Can you recommend us some new and underrated artists? Yeah, there's this guy named, I think his name is J. Paul, J-A-I, and then I guess Paul, like P-A-U-L. He has this like unreleased album from 2013 that's pretty sick. DIY, like bedroom artist kind of sound. The Parcels are a really cool up and coming band. They do mostly like funk, disco sounding stuff. And the Driver Era. Check out the Driver Era. Next up, this one's from No Control Heron. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? I've received a lot of advice, but I think the most recent one that I've really been vibing is no one really knows anything. Okay, a good way to summarize this is before Einstein came up with the theory of relativity, a few years prior to that, people were like, we discovered everything. And then Einstein came around and blew everyone's minds. So trust yourself, trust your gut, if that made any sense. Read books, that's my advice to you, read books. Are you working on something new in the acting world? There's always the potential, like Sabrina, where I'll get swept up in a week and then be in a new country for a year. But there's nothing on the books right now. I'm unemployed. Next up is Sassy Toilet. Out of the box question, would you ever consider doing theater again? So I've done like some more like Broadway kind of stuff where it's like mostly musicals and stuff. And I could definitely do that in the future. I could see that happening. But if I were to do theater, I would like the idea of doing it kind of like Philip Seymour Hoffman would do, where it's kind of like intense acting process, kind of like the off-Broadway, like small theaters. We'll see. Wikipedia. On March 2nd, it was reported that the Driver Era would be a band consisting only of Ross and Rocky. For the most part, that's true. There's a lot of people that help bring everything together, but as far as the band goes, as of now, it's me and my brother Rocky. This is from Cora. We don't know what Cora is, but we're finding out. What is Ross Lynch's vocal range? I'm not actually sure. I'm like a band guy, you know, like a singer-songwriter, but I'm not like classically trained. So I'm not really sure. I can sing pretty high. I can sing pretty low. Why is Ross Lynch considered a Mormon? I don't think I'm considered a Mormon. My mom was raised Mormon and is no longer Mormon. Every Mormon that I've met's pretty nice. But no, I don't really have any religious title, I guess. I'm just spiritual. Does Ross Lynch go to school? I mean, I went to school. I'm 25 now. I was homeschooled most of my life because I moved out to LA and I started working at a pretty young age. The Disney Channel was my high school. Touring was my college. That's what I like to say. But yes, I went to school. Didn't go to college, but I went to school. Does Ross Lynch write his own songs? Who writes the songs for R5? A lot of the songs for R5 I didn't write. A lot of the songs for R5 I did write. Almost all the songs that are coming out now, I'm writing. For the most part, I like to be involved in that process or else it just feels kind of phony. So I have every intention of like creating the art. That's it for Cora. Perfect. Next up is YouTube. Is it just me or did Ross not get the Austin and Ally reference with the "you made me do a double take"? Or maybe he didn't want to acknowledge it. I would just probably assume that Kieran wouldn't know that reference. Maybe she does. I don't know. I don't think she would. I guess we'll never know. Next up is Instagram. From Ann Lockhart 24. Would you date a fan? Your partner has to be supportive of your dreams. So, would you date a fan? Yeah. If you aren't a fan of what I'm dedicating my life to, I don't know if I could date you. Because that would suck. Okay, everybody, that's it. Thanks so much for watching Actually Me. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I'm signing off the internet. Have a good day.